What's going on, everybody? Matt Malatesti here. All right. Elsik Soccer. Vincenzo Cox. He's been here before. Not saying they shocked the world, but they were prepared for Seven Lakes. They take down Seven Lakes to advance again to the state semis. Coach, congratulations. Secret sauce to this team. What is the secret sauce?
I won't say there's a secret sauce. We try and do the same things each year, and we always feel like we can accomplish our goals. And we get some hiccups along the way, and sometimes you get yourself in a ditch and you can't get out of it. And fortunately, against a great opponent like Seven Lakes, we're able to, you say, I guess, strike gold.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, y'all been there before. You've had tremendous success in building this program. You've won a state championship. What part of the season did you think, hey, this team could be really special?
So this might sound, I don't want this to sound bad, Matt, but every year the kids that come into our school in the varsity uniform, the goal is to be successful in each game we play in. And so if you do that, I don't know, 25, 26 times in a row, you'll end up, playing, maybe the last game of the season and the same goal as your first goal, to be successful. So that's what we have, and I don't plan on changing from that.
Yeah, the standard is the standard there at Elsik Soccer.
For sure.
Just talk about, what do you think the strength of this particular team is? You talked earlier, like this might not have been your most talented team, but what is their strength as a unit?
So, we've had some teams before where we've been loaded with talent. And so here we do have some sprinkles of talent, and then we have some good role players. But the word that I like that you used is unit, and they want to be a unit. They've grown together, and they went through some rough patches last year. Last year we only won like 19 games, and the boys were a little bit disappointed. We lost 3, so they came back this year. A lot of boys returned this year and said they want to try and, push themselves to the max. And let's see where we can go.
You had a massive crowd show up for your game in your regional final. What was that like? Were you juiced up? Did that juice the kids up?
I knew it. And so, you and I both know the dream of, I'm going to say 90% of high school kids is to be a professional and play in a professional environment. And so in soccer in Texas, we do have a lot of passionate fans, but we don't get them concentrated in one game in a multitude like we saw yesterday. And so I just told them, focus on, what's going on the field, and, try not to look into your stands. Most of the time, Matt, even when you and I do something, I mean, you have a bigger following than I do. If you and I were to be on a show like Wheel of Fortune, and we feel like 30 million people are watching, there's really only like 300 people, 150 people who we know who really know and love us. And for us, that's the world to us. And so for these kids, even though the crowd was there, they have 40 or 50 relatives, family there. That's the world to them. So the extra people just magnify that. So I'm just trying to keep them focused. And yesterday was a great test, and fortunately it worked out well for us at the right time.
Just talk about, honestly, look, A-Leaf Taylor girls basketball had a tremendous season. Y'all are having a tremendous season. It's like y'all are kind of a beacon of light for that community. Do you feel that weight? Do you love to be in that position as a coach?
So, when people initially started telling me that in the beginning, I was kind of like, hey, man, easy on that. I'm just doing my job, because I am not native of this community, but I become an adoptive member and the community loves me. And so I take an extra interest in what's being set up for the second grader that's coming watching, as opposed to when I was earlier in my career, I was just thinking past the next game, so yeah, now it means a little bit more for the guys that these young kids are watching now, just mentoring them and guiding them to make sure they're, a good example, because some of these kids remember these kids, some of these, they're temporary stars for these kids. So doing that really helps, the program, and helps kids monitor themselves just in the hallways, like a lot of other programs. You've heard this from a lot of other coaches. And so, whether you're a winning program or not, coaches are still, constantly working on that mentoring area. And so we're the same. I would say we're the same.
Finally, give me a couple of your headliners. Who are your stars that have really shined in the playoffs, in the regular season, in the locker room?
So we have a really great player. Each year I go through this. I'm sure coaches go through this. They're thinking like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do when this kid graduates. What am I going to do? So we have number 5, Chris Guillen. He's a top player. At one point he was in the U.S. national team pool. Super, super fantastic quality. And then our captain, our captain's Jacob Ordonez, who his brother went through here. And we got Michael Chache, who is a standout defender there. They've grown so much in the past year. And, we've got a kid, Asa Marsh. He's the son of Olympic, world record sprinter, gold medal, UCLA Hall of Famer Mike Marsh. And so you can see that speed on them. And, we've got, and within these kids, they're very academic. Like Jacob Ordonez is number 3 in the class. And Ren Marsh is going to graduate. Asa Marsh is going to graduate valedictorian. And, you recently got him into Princeton. So, but they're also great players. And another fantastic young man, John Jairo Moreno. He's fantastic. And, we've kind of built around those guys, and we're hoping to, hold on to them.
Well, dude, you're one of the best in the business. I know you hate getting the accolades, and you want to pour it on the kids, but Vincenzo Cox, one of the best coaches in the city of Houston, any sport. And I know that A-Leap is super proud of you guys, as is the city of Houston. Congrats on reaching the state semis. We will see you there at Bryan. Do not miss this game. All right, Coach, this is Matt with VYPE. We'll see y'all at the game.
Okay, see you soon. Thank you, Matt. Thanks always. Always a great pleasure.